Ariana from Crafting Happiness here. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the Pointy Crocodile Stitch, and this is a modified version of the classic crocodile stitch. It's got one small difference. He has a small picot stitch created at the tip of each of these oval shapes, scales I guess you can call them, and this gives the design a more pointy look. It also crocheted in a way that you will have a border on the back of it to which you can crochet your baby blanket border if you wish. So I made two samples here for you today. One is in a single color to see how it looks like from the back, from the front, and one in multiple colors. This one is crocheted in 3, and this is how it looks like. This is the back. You can see where the color changes were made. I've used 3 colors and I've changed them every 2 rows. The changes are on the side, and you can crochet your border on over it if you wish. If not, you can just cut the yarn and weave it in and start on each color change. So this is how it looks like. One more thing is that your leaves or shells, I don't even know what to call them, they will roll up again a little bit, and you might need to block your design. That is easy. Soak it in water and then lay it flat with a heavy towel on top, and then once they keep the shape and they are becoming flat like you see here, let it air dry and it will look like this. Right, so let's get started. For this tutorial I am using a 5mm crochet hook and double knit yarn. You should use the yarn and hook recommended. I'm just using a slightly larger hook than recommended because I want my project to be more loose. And this pattern requires you to have multiples of 6 plus 1 chains in your starting chain. My starting chain is 25. So let's start by making 2 double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. So from the hook count down 5 chains, and in the 5th one make 2 double crochet, so, and then chain 1, skip 2 chains, and in the 3rd chain make 2 more double crochet. And again chain 1, skip 2 chains, and then 2 double crochet in a 3rd one, and we'll continue like this until we have 2 chains left. So again, your repeat section is chain 1, skip 2, and 2 double crochet in a 3rd chain. Again, chain 1, skip 2, and 2 double crochet in the 3rd one. Chain 1, skip 2, 2 double crochet in a 3rd. And I think we are on to our last repeat. Chain 1, skip 2, and 2 double crochet in a 3rd one. And now we have 2 chains left. We will be skipping 1 and making a double crochet, and this is how your first row looks like. Now don't turn. The way this pattern works is that you go forwards and crochet the lattice base of the pattern, onto which, going backwards, we crochet these leaves, the pointy leaves or the crocodile scales, whatever you want to call them. And then again, going forwards, we crochet the next lattice base, and then we go backwards with the leaves. Now we also going to crochet a nice border around it. So this first and last double crochet stitches are just for you to have a nice border underneath, to which you can crochet a blanket border if you wish. So this is how this pattern is constructed. So what we have to do now is chain one and just temporarily turn to make a single crochet in the double crochet below, and now turn your work with this lattice work going straight towards you. We will crochet these leaves around these two posts. So we're gonna make 5 double crochet around this post. So yarn over, insert your hook around the post like so, yarn over, pull up a loop and make your double crochet. So that is one, that is second one, third one, fourth, and the fifth. So now we have, like you see, we crocheted 5 double crochet, and now it's time to make the pointy tip. And to crochet a picot stitch, chain 3 and then slip stitch in the base stitch. So don't stitch in the first chain, but into the stitch below. So insert your hook through the first and second loop, these 2 loops here, and just make a slip stitch. And this is your picot stitch, and this will be the tip of our crocodile stitch leaves. So now we had the work like this. Now going on to the next double crochet post, we will have to kind of turn around. So now your work is away from you, and we will work around the second double crochet post. So insert your hook and make 5 double crochet around that post, and folding your work like this helps a lot. As your work grows bigger and bigger, you might not be able to fold it like this, but you can kind of pick it up like so and hold it to crochet your double crochet stitches. So now we have 5 double crochet around this post, and this is your first I don't even know what to call it, leaf, I guess, crocodile scale. Yeah, so I'll just call it a leaf because it looks like a leaf. So now you see we've crocheted these double crochet stitches around the 2 double crochet posts, and we'll be doing this every other cluster of double crochet stitches. So as of now, we are now with our work like this. All we have to do is turn backwards with your work with the wrong side facing you and slip stitch into this between these 2 double crochet, just to connect the leaf to your lattice. All right, and now again turn the work with this part facing you, with the lattice work going towards you. And of course we're not going to crochet around this, we are going to crochet around the next 2 double crochet stitches. And again, it helps if you kind of fold it like so, and we are going to make five double crochet around the first post. So that's 1, that is 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is what we have so far. That's the first one. This is how we crocheted the second one. Now we turn it around and we are going to crochet the picot stitch, and again chain 3 and slip stitch in the base stitch, not in the first chain, in the base stitch. Pick up those 2 loops and slip stitch through. And let me take the hook away. This is how it looks like a tiny tip. It's a tiny loop. Okay, so now we are working like this. We are going to turn around, so we basically just keep turning around our work just to crochet around these posts. So now we have our lattice work going away from us, and around this second double crochet post we are going to make 5 double crochet. So that's 1, that is 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we've been working like this. Now it's time to connect this leaf to the lattice by slip stitching. So turn around and to the back of it and into the next cluster of double crochet right in between the stitches, make a slip stitch, and this will connect the leaf to the lattice work. Right, so we are working like this. Now again we are turning around, so we basically keep turning our work around and kind of crocheting like a spiral circle way around these posts. So now we have our work facing us again, going towards us. We have slip stitch into this cluster, so of course we're not going to crochet in it anymore. We are going to make the next leaf into these 2 double crochet posts. So these are the 2 leaves we have made with the pointy tips. And now, like I said, we are going to crochet 5 double crochet into around to this double crochet post. So again, 5 double crochet, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we've been working like this. Again, turn it around and we'll be making the picot stitch. So chain 3 and at the base slip stitch, and now we are like this. Turn it around again with the work away from us, and we are crocheting around the second double crochet post, 5 double crochet around it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we are like this. Now turn it around and slip stitch into the next cluster of 2 double crochet. So between these 2 posts, make a slip stitch. And this is another leaf. Right, so now we have one more cluster. We are going to make 1 more leaf and we'll finish the row. So again, with the work towards you, just make a double crochet around that post. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So again we work like this, like so, then we turn around and make the picot stitch, chain 3, and in the base stitch pick up those 2 loops and slip stitch, and then turn your work with the work away from you, and around that double crochet post we are making 5 double crochet. That's 4 so far, and the last one. So you repeat this, making these leaves every other cluster of double crochet, like so. Let me take the hook away. As you can see, we work in one cluster, we skip one by slip stitching in it, work in a one cluster, skip by slip stitching in it, and so on until you have 1 double crochet left. And in that double crochet we are going to slip stitch. Now this is made out of chains because it's the beginning of the row, and it has 4 chains. So you will be crocheting a slip stitching in a third from the base. So from the base count 1, 2 and 3, and we will be slip stitching in that, not in the last one. Right, so 1, 2 and 3 into this one, make a slip stitch. Right, and we are done with our row. This is the second row, and this is the back. And you can see how there's a kind of a border created around behind these leaves, and when it's time to crochet a border, this is where you crochet the base row and the next rounds of the border. So you have this lattice framework onto which these leaves are crocheted. So let's start with the third row. And again, like I said, we are going forwards to create the lattice work, backwards to crochet the leaves, and so on. Once you understand the process, it's quite easy. The only difference on this row is that we will offset the leaves. So we will not have leaves on top of leaves. We will have leaves between leaves. So they will be crocheted like so. They will be crocheted where we skipped them. It's simple, I'll show you again. So let's start by chaining 4, and that counts out as our first double crochet plus a chain, and then make 2 double crochet into the middle of the leaf, which is basically between the 2 double crochet posts. So 2 double crochet in there, like so, then chain 2, and between the 2 double crochet posts, the next ones right here where you slip stitch before, we are going to make 2 double crochet. So basically in between the leaves, like this. Now again, chain 2, and in between, in the middle of the leaf, 2 double crochet, and this just creates the frame onto which we crochet the leaves. So again, chain 2, and in between these 2 double crochet stitches, so in between the leaves where you slip stitch, insert your hook and make 2 double crochet. All right, again, chain 2 and double crochet into between the 2 double crochet posts below, and you repeat this until you have crocheted into the last space between the two double crochet below. Alright, so let's finish this row, chain 2, and this is your last cluster of double crochet below. So you will make 1. Now remember that single crochet we have made at the beginning of round 2. I told you to mark it. It's right there. I've been making this pattern for a long time. I've made a massive blanket, so now I know exactly where to look for this stitch. My advice is for you to mark it with a stitch marker, and in that stitch you will make one last double crochet. So chain 1. So when you've double crochet in the last cluster, chain 1 and make a double crochet into that single crochet below. And what this does is creates this border right here on the side to where you can attach your blanket border. That's if you have one. If you don't, just the same, it looks nicer and cleaner as a pattern. Alright, so we have finished our third row. This is how it looks like from the top, and this is how it looks like from the back. And you can see we have made clusters of double crochet into the clusters below. It's that easy, separated by 2 chains. And right when you finish at the end, you chain 1 and double crochet in the single crochet below to form this nice corner. So now this is how your work should be facing you. Of course, we are not going to turn, we just temporarily turning to make our single crochet. So chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Just turn your work, and in this last double crochet make a single crochet. And like I said, mark it with a stitch until you get used to it. Now we chain 1 because we want to skip this first cluster. We are going to make our leaves in between the previous leaves. So we're not going to make a leaf on top of it. We are going to offset it by 1 and make a leaf between them. Again, skip 1 and make a leaf between us. Skip 1, make a leaf between. So to do that, we have made that single crochet, then chain 1 and a slip stitch between the 2 double crochet posts. All right, now it's time to rotate your work with the right side facing you, and your work comes towards you. Now we are going to double crochet around these 2 posts. We start with this one first and make 5 double crochet. That's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Right, and this is how you've been working. This is your 5 double crochet. Now turn your work around to make the tip of the leaf the picot stitch. So chain 3 and then not in a base chain but in the base stitch. So put your hook through those 2 loops and slip stitch. And now you work like this. Turn your work around again, and around the second double crochet in that cluster we make 5 double crochet. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 double crochet. And this is your leaf, and you can see how now it's overlapping the previous two leaves, but it comes in between. It's offset by one. I'll show you when we finish this row how it looks like from the back. So you've been crocheting like this, and again just turn it around enough to just slip stitch in the next cluster of 2 double crochet. So between those two, make a slip stitch, and it will always be the cluster above the leaf. That's how we are working. We are offsetting it, so leaf above the loose double crochet V, slip stitch above the leaf. Now again, turn your work with your face right side facing you, and again we are going to double crochet, make our leaf around these 2 posts. So first we start with the first double crochet and make 5 around the post. So like you see, I'm folding my work. As your work grows bigger and bigger, it's going to be harder to fold, but you can just literally just pick that post and hold it up so you can double crochet around it. Okay, so make 5. And this is our 5th. So now we've been working like this. It's time to turn around and make the picot stitch. Chain 3, and then insert your hook in the base stitch and slip stitch. So we've been working like this, and now turn with your work away from you, and we will be crocheting our 5 double crochet around this post. So make 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now we've been working like this. We've made our last leaf. All I have to do is turn the work and on the wrong side just to slip stitch. And now we need to move our yarn to the last double crochet. Remember, this chain 4 counts as a double crochet and a chain. So chain 1 to compensate for the chain, and then single crochet at the top of the double crochet, which is the 3rd chain from the base. Okay, there you are. And again, now we have this border, you see, forming, and you'll be having this all around. All right, so this is how it looks from the back, and you can see how we offset the work. Let me just cut some of that tail. Okay, so now you can see the lattice work on the back, and at the front you can see the offset leaves and how they form. So I will show you another set of leaves, so 2 more rows, from where I'll show you how to repeat this pattern until you have the desired length to your project. So chain 4, that's how we start our 5th row. That counts as a double crochet plus a chain. Now into the next cluster of double crochet, we are going to make 2 double crochet. So basically we crochet clusters of double crochet on top of the previous clusters. So again, chain 2, and into the next cluster make 2 double crochet. This happens to be the middle of the leaf, and then chain 2, and into the next cluster 2 double crochet, okay, and then chain 2, and into the next cluster, and so on until you have crocheted into the last cluster in the row below. And once you've done that, I'll show you how to finish the row. Okay, chain 2 and cluster, and it's easy to miss, but this is not your last cluster. Your last cluster is right here underneath. So if you're not sure, turn your work back and see all those clusters. You can see we crochet clusters in the clusters below, right? And as you turn, you can see there's one more here. From the front, it doesn't look like you have one more, but it's there. Okay, so chain 2 and let's crochet in our last cluster. And now we're just going to crochet this knit border around by chaining 1, and we are going to make a double crochet in the single crochet below. That's the single crochet you have made in a previous row, and make a double crochet. Okay, so this is your 5th row, I believe. Right, so now, like I said, chain 1 to start the 6th row, and just temporarily turn around to make that single crochet. Now, like I said, mark it, don't lose it. I'll go back to the front side of my work, and with the work going towards me, I'm making a leaf around the first cluster of double crochet. I can't call it a V-stitch because V-stitches have chains in between. This doesn't. This is a cluster of double crochet. Alright, so around the first post, make 5 double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've been working like this. Turn around, make the picot stitch, the tip of the leaf, chain 3, and make a picot. Then turn around, and we'll be working with with the work going away from us and into the second double crochet post. Around it we will make 5 double crochet. All right, so just pick up that post and make 5 double crochet. Right, 5 double crochet, and then again turn around with the top facing you, still on the right side, and just slightly turn it around with the wrong side so we can slip stitch to the between these 2 double crochet. And this is the leaf, and this is how they're gonna go from now on, offset from the previous row. So again, work towards you, vertically going towards you, and on the right side make 5 double crochet into the next, around the next double crochet post. We have 3, 4, and 5. Now this is how we've been working. Turn it around with the top of your work facing you, still on the right side, chain 3 to make the picot stitch, insert your hook at the base, slip stitch at the bottom. Now again, we turn around from this position to this position where your work goes away from you and into that second double crochet post. In the cluster of double crochet posts, we are going to make 5 double crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we are. Now been working like this, turn it again around, and on the wrong side facing you, slip stitch in the next cluster between the two posts. And again, you've been like this, turn it again around. So we basically, if you notice, we keep turning it around, working around these posts. All right, so let's finish this row, and then I'll show you the repeat section. So we will be making another leaf now, 4 and 5, and I will not be moving it. I'll just show you how I naturally crocheted to help you kind of have an idea how to do it. And this is how I make my leaves. I don't really lay it flat. I know exactly where these go. You will too after you make a few rows. So I just wanted to show you how I make it, so you kind of don't feel like you have to lay it flat on a table and keep rotating it. As long as you understand how the process goes and what and where to crochet your stitches, you should be fine. Right, so now I'm to my last leaf in a row, and you can see how I rotate my work in between my fingers. You know, you need to crochet around the V. It's you can't really go wrong because you know how they should be positioned and where to point. There's not many options. And now we reach the end. We have this chain 4 that counts as a 1 double crochet and 1 stitch. What we're going to do is slip stitch, a single crochet in the 3rd chain from the base. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do in that stitch single crochet. And this is our 6th row, and your leaves will start to curl up like this. Just so you know, it's all normal. You probably have to block it. You just have to block it in position, unless you really want to make really loose stitches, or you make a lot more double crochet. I don't recommend that. It's easier to just dampen or wet your work and lay it flat with a towel on top until they dry into the position. So this is our 6th row, and this is how it looks like. Now to continue with this pattern, all you have to do is repeat rows 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the last 4 rows, these 2 set of leaves, you repeat this over and over until you have the desired height. And like I said before, depending on the colors you use, your project will look different. For example, this looks like leaves because it's in green, and this sample that I made in red looks like hearts to me anyway. So it's all up to you, the colors you use. You can do it in one color like I did here, or you can do it in 2 or 3 colors. Mine has 3 here. It looks beautiful either way. And this is how you crochet the Pointy Crocodile Stitch. I hope you found my tutorial easy to follow. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Happy crocheting!